Hey there everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new to the channel. My name is Joesephyr, and today I'm doing something a little bit out of left field from what I normally do, as I normally cover obviously Final Fantasy related content, whether it be the TCG or the mobile games, but today I'm doing something a bit different because I'm looking at something that's somewhere between the two and not Final Fantasy related, but I'm going to be talking about Teppen, which is the new card battler for mobiles that's come out from Capcom. Now this was released about a week ago, and I'm honestly really intrigued by it, so I kind of wanted to share it with you guys. So today I'm going to be going over what the game is, what it entails, some of the pros and cons about it, like a little early impressions review of it, and some tips for new people who want to get into the game as well. So if you're interested in Teppen and want to play as your favourite Capcom characters and play with other players, etc., then stay tuned and keep on watching. Before we get into the game itself, where I'll be showing some gameplay footage to you all and talking about the game as well, don't forget to check out all of the social links in my description box below, including my Twitch channel, where I may well be playing some Teppen if this goes off as well. So my Discord channel, where we discuss all kinds of things, including Teppen as well. We've got some players already in the Discord chat, so it'll be really cool to connect people together. And my Patreon channel for anyone who wants to have access to my early access videos, and possibly some exclusive videos coming out for you guys in the future as well. So this is the kind of screen that you'll see for Teppen when you first load it up, and it's like the menu screen. So the first thing you'll notice is that the artwork in this game is really nice. Like, you've got Ryu kind of moving about there, and this will change depending on which character you're playing as. And then, well, the other thing that you'll note as well is that the music is really good. I've muted the music for the game for the time being, for the sake of the flow of the video, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what the card types are and what the different characters you can play as are, and then I'll show you an example game in a tutorial so that I can explain how the mechanics of the game work. So the first thing that everybody wants to know is which characters can you play as, because obviously Capcom has this hugely rich history of characters that you can play. And very similarly to Hearthstone, you pick a character and you pick a character that you want to build your deck around, and they're kind of your character class. So you have 8 different characters currently, which is nice because they can obviously expand this as time goes on because of the way they've built the game. And each of them is split into 4 different sort of colours and categories. So you have red, which is your aggro colour. I'm going to beat your face in, I'm going to burn all your guys, and I'm just going to try and hit you as hard as I can. And with that, you have Ryu and Rathalos. And you can see there, like, I've played Ryu a fair amount, so I've earned all 3 of his super abilities. So where in Hearthstone, I'm going to use Hearthstone as a comparison point because I think it's the most apt one that everyone will know. But where Hearthstone you'll have an ability you can use every turn depending on the character you've picked, in this one you have like a super gauge which charges, and then you can inflict a super depending on how long, like whether it's fully get charged or not. It's like a card that's always on hand when it's ready. So for Ryu, for example, you have Shinku Hadoken, Denjin Renki, and Metsu Shoryuken. So they're all classic pictures of the character, and when you activate them, you get this really cool flourish that's really nice as well, and then they obviously do their thing. With red, you have Rathalos and Ryu. With green, which is like the opposite of red, so you have health gain, make your guys stronger, make it so they stick around on the board as long as possible so that they can live longer and deal damage to your opponent. You've got Mega Man X and Chun-Li, neither of which I've played an awful lot of, to be fair. In purple, you have a kind of control aspect, so you have like negation, counter spells, evasive maneuvers for your units, things like that. And then with those colours, you have Morrigan and Dante. So they're like, you know, again, fan favourites. I'm a huge Morrigan fan. I haven't really spent much time with Morrigan, but that's because I don't really have the cards to play her. And then in black, you have kind of units that are above the curve in terms of their cost. So if you pay 3 MP, which I'll get to in a minute, for a black unit, it will generally be stronger than that of any other colour, but it will hurt you for coming into play. Or they'll be weaker, but when they die, they'll come back into your hand later as a stronger version of themselves. And then for black, you have Wesker and Nergigante. Nergigante I've played an awful lot of, and Ryu I've played an awful lot of, but you'll see why as I explain the game further. So for the sake of explaining how this works, I've taken my Ryu deck and I'm going into a practice round against a Dante, which is an AI, and you'll see how the basic combat flow works. So you'll get your character name and the super that you've used, or the hero art that you've used displayed, and you have 5 cards in your opening hand, and then you can see how like time progresses naturally. If I get killed while I'm explaining this, it doesn't matter. But you can see how like you have an MP bar, which is sort of real time, and you can play cards into 3 slots, so you've got character cards that you can play into each slot that have like an ATB gauge in a similar fashion to a Final Fantasy game almost, where you can play cards and then they'll have effects. Some of them will have effects when they come in, some of them will have them when they die, but the general consensus of things is that they have a power value at the top, which is their strength. So 1 in the case of the 2 hero tigers that I have there, or neon tigers that I have there, sorry. 2 in the case of the BB hood that I have. And then you've also got action spells. So for example, I have one there which is Barrel Bomb that I can cast, deal 1 damage to all of my opponent's guys, and then damage to my opponent's hero as well. So obviously the objective of the game is to reduce my opponent's hero character to 0 HP. So you've got like a bit of Hearthstone, a bit of Magic the Gathering, a little bit of Final Fantasy, and it's still all with that really nice Capcom-y flair. So it's, you know, I've got units there, which is nice because I can explain, because I'm playing this in real time, you see. So like, what will happen is that characters will kind of fight continuously until they, you know, kill each other, or some will have evasion so that they can get over the characters in order to play them. Some of them will make other characters stronger. But as you can see, I've got my hero art just here that's now charged up. So as soon as my super deals 7 damage to an enemy unit. So if I highlight Dante's character there, you'll get an animation play for Shinku Hadoken, 7 damage will be dealt, and then things will continue as they were. The other nice thing that you get is that when you play a spell, so I'm hoping he plays a unit here so that I can... No, he's not going to. Never mind. So you'll notice that when I used an action card, it froze the game temporarily. This is so that my opponent has time to respond with their own action card. And then if they respond, then I can go out to responding, and you get like a nice kind of stack mechanic like you do in other TCGs that work in a similar fashion to what you've known in them before. So the last thing to go onto the stack resolves first, so you can get really nice little counterplays. But the thing I like about this game is the flow of battle is really fast paced. Each game only takes a couple of minutes. Like, it's perfect for mobile because you can kind of just play a couple of games while you're on the train or whatever. They just pass by really quickly. Like, the longest you can get a game to go on for is like 5 minutes, because it's as long as the timer will allow you to. So if you've got a bit of spare time, I think this game's great for that. So once you've gotten comfortable with the game, the idea is that you'll go into ranked games against other players. So like any TCG or card battle or online, that kind of thing, the meat of the game is going to be against other players. Like, there is story modes for each character, but they're very, very short. You're not going to get a huge amount of single player content out of this, though Capcom has said that they want to elaborate on the single player content and they want to make more for it, like explaining why Ryu's exposing his left pec, or why X's eyes look weird. Like I say, Ryu, why his clothes are all torn, etc. But you know, there's not a huge amount of single player content. Like, you have the hero stories, which will allow you to unlock each of the characters because you only start with Ryu. You have Chronicles, which are like challenge modes that you can earn Zenny, which is like the currency you use to buy packs, etc., etc. You will earn packs by playing that way, but the meat of the game is going to be playing against other players. So if you're not the most confident player when it comes to playing online games or anything like that, then maybe this isn't going to be for you. But if you want something competitive, you're going to do well with this one. As of right now, at the time of this video being filmed, this game has been very, very free-to-play friendly. Like, you get like 30 booster packs for starting at the beginning, because the game only came out last week, so they want obviously people to start playing. So if you want to start playing, now is a great time to do so. But you also have the Jewel Shop, which is your premium currency, and as you can see, they're not the cheapest things in the world, because a pack costs 240 jewels, so a pound will only get you half a pack, which isn't great. But they did do a deal for the launch of the game where it was $4.99, so and whatever it translates to in other currencies, to get 1,500 gems initially. And then I did buy those gems because I owed the jewels, because I wanted to support the game, because I have been really enjoying it. You also have the option to get a season pass. So when you finish, when you buy one of these, you can earn jewels back from missions that you get for doing it, which I've already finished, because they're all kind of, they would be highlighted there, but I've already finished them. But what they do is they also give you the ability to craft a legendary card at half the price that you would normally be able to, because very similarly to Hearthstone, and not similarly to many other card battlers, you have the ability to kind of destroy unwanted cards for souls, they call it in this, and then you can craft other cards for more expensive souls so that you can actually build the deck that you want to, even if you don't get the cards that you necessarily wanted. There is also a pity rate when it comes to this game, so every time you open a pack, you can see there I've got a legendary charge. If you open 30 packs, which is quite a lot, without getting a legendary, you're guaranteed one at the end. And then you do get given a lot of packs through just playing the game initially. Like right now, getting all of the cards that you want for a deck in this game is not difficult. Like I've still got 1,000 jewels of the ones that I bought with the 499. I've got a deck that I'm really happy with, and I've been playing. And as you can see, like my rank here is A4, so it goes from E5 all the way up to A1, and then once you break A1, you start getting into the Champions League, which is the top. I think it's 10,000 players in the world. And I've not played this as extensively as I could have, but I'm really enjoying it, and I've been doing fairly well at it. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Another thing that I really like about this game is the way that it goes about sharing deck profiles and things like that. Like, they've kind of obviously thought of people like me, like in advance, because when you go to make a new deck, you can scan a QR card or QR code for a deck that's been built already, and it will just automatically build it for you. If you haven't got the cards for it, you can't play with it, obviously, but you have the deck profile in your game straight away, so you can go, oh, okay, I really like this deck that someone's built, I want to build that. You can also do it by like typing a code in, like so you can copy paste like a lengthy letters and number code into your from your browser into the game, and that way you can make a deck profile as well. But QR codes and things like that are a really nice way to go about it. And then, as I said as well, you can craft cards so that once you've got that kind of deck profile, so you can go like, say I want a red legendary card. These are all of the legendary cards. I actually already have 3 of them, but I don't have this one. So if I wanted to, I could craft that and then I'd have it. And you only ever need 1 copy of a legendary card anyway, and you'll never pull the same legendary twice if you pull it from a pack. And this will tie back in when I talk about some tips and stuff later. So bear that in mind when you're playing this as well. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows when it comes to this game. Like, there is a lot of positive stuff about this game that I think will entice a lot of players. And the problems that it has can be very easily fixed by Capcom. It's not anything that's, like, deal-breaking or anything. But, as I said earlier, the single-player content runs out really quickly. Like, you unlock the characters within an hour or 2. And then the chronicles, or the little, like, bonus missions that you can get, they'll run out pretty quick as well. So you're kind of just left with the ranked battles, which is fine for a lot of people, but there are going to be others that really do want to kind of get their confidence up by playing single player content and then move on to the ranked battles. So I really hope that they do elaborate on that and they start making more single player content. I have had, and you'll notice this when I show you the example game that I play in a little while, but there is the occasional lag bit where I would play a card and then it would freeze for a second before actually playing it, which in a game like this is critical. Like, if you play a card and your opponent plays a card at the same time, and then one of you plays faster than the other, and a lag spike happens, so it happens the wrong way round, that can be pretty crippling. Luckily, I've played a good few games of this game. Like, I'm talking like 50 to 60 plus, and I've only encountered that once or twice. Twice I've encountered it, because including the one that I put on this video later. So that's a little irritating, but it's not the end of the world. Hopefully, like, as long as you've got a strong connection, and hopefully they'll notice that and they'll work on obviously fixing any bugs or anything like that as time goes on. The game has only been out a week, so I'm more than happy to give it the chance that it needs for that. The only other thing that I think might put up a few people is that the game does need a few balance tweaks at the moment. Again, the game has only been out for a week, but it's quite clear that some characters in this game are stronger than others. So I built Nergigante for this game, not because I really love Monster Hunter. I do really love Monster Hunter, but if I was going to play a Monster Hunter character, it would have been Rathalos. But Nergigante is really, really strong right now. Like, I mean, the 3 characters that I've listed here, so Ryu, Nergigante, and Morrigan, they are relatively balanced in the very top portion of the meta. So you'll have like a bit of a rock, paper, scissors format, like Ryu beats Morrigan, beats Nergigante, beats Ryu. But the green characters, you don't see an awful lot of those in the top tiers of play. You'll see a lot of them in like the CB tier, things like that. But having watched a lot of people play, gone on like Reddit and various forums and things like that where people are talking about the game, a lot of people talk about Nergigante and his spike launch art because it's very strong. And I actually play him with 2 colours, which what that means is if you're playing as 2 colours, your maximum MP is cut in half. So you only have 5 maximum MP and not 10, so you can't save up very well. But it means that you can play cards of 2 different colours, and it also means that the maximum card cost that you can play is 5. But because black units tend to be like over the curve and tend to be more powerful than they should be for their cost, it doesn't affect you all that badly. But the main reason that Nergigante is as strong as he is Spike Launch, which is something that I imagine will get nerfed down the line, because a lot of people in the mid-tiers are not very happy about it. But what it does is it deals damage to your opponent's board, split randomly, equals the amount of life you've sacrificed to pay for cards. So things like Nilo Angelo is a strong unit. There you go, so I'll pull him up. Nilo Angelo is a strong unit that's very common, and but he's slightly more powerful than he should be for his cost. So he has a 3 power and 5 toughness. But when you play him, he sacrifices some of your life. So the idea is that the black portion of the deck will sacrifice your life in order to play stronger things, and then the green portion of the deck, like Abel, will recover your life instead and still provide bodies for you. So that deck is very, very strong, and I've been climbing the ranks very quickly with it, so maybe you might want to check that out as well. But as you'll see in the game that I'm going to play in a short while, you'll see how this deck kind of functions. Even though I make a fair few misplays at it, you'll have to excuse me. It's a nice thing to... It's not the be-all and end-all, but I think that it would be nice if the green characters got brought up to scratch with the likes of Ryu, Morrigan, and Nergigante. So a few tips for you before I leave the video and leave you with a bit of gameplay footage in a ranked match where I'm playing Nergigante against a Wesker. But I thought I'd come over a few things that I would point out. Re-rolling, which is the process of deleting the game, reinstalling it and starting again because you can get a really good start in the game, is possible, but honestly I don't think it's really all that necessary unless you have a particular character you absolutely must play in mind, like Mega Man X or Chun-Li or Wesker. If you really want stuff for that character, then maybe you might want to re-roll, because the legendary rates are actually posted within the game. Obviously I'm going to find that out 1 second. Oh, there we go. The rarity card percentage, you'll see right here. So a legendary card has a 1% drop rate unless you already hit the pity rate at 30 packs. Epic cards are 6%, rares are 28%, or there'll always be at least one rare in a pack, and commons are 65%. So you can re-roll, especially now when everyone's being given so many packs for just the game being released, and them obviously wanting to showcase the sort of thing that the game can do. It's very free-to-play friendly right now, but obviously if more sets get released, which is inevitably going to happen, more characters will get released, things like that. There are certain characters that I'm personally hoping for, like I'd really like to see Beautiful Joe, I'd love to see an Onimusha representative. There's lots of characters I'd like to see come out, but obviously no matter who comes out, more stuff is going to come out for, premium currency, things like that. So do bear that in mind. So if you do go into it free-to-play, the packs are for this set, the core set, so don't worry about spending those, but maybe if you get Zenny, which is the currency that is the equivalent to the premium currency in-game, maybe save that up if you can. So you want to try and squeeze as many of the packs out while playing the game as you can. So instead of Zenny, you do get packs for clearing some of the Chronicles missions. You'll get them for leveling up your characters, because that's also how you unlock their second and third hero arts. So you want to try and squeeze as many packs as you can before you start crafting cards, because the worst thing you could do is craft a card and then pull it the next booster. Even if it's a legendary or something like that, it's expensive to craft those with the souls that you get by dismantling other cards and stuff. So you basically want to just worry about getting as many packs as you can out of the game and then building a deck you're quite happy with before you go in for those little extra details to make it really busted. There is the season pass, as I mentioned earlier, is a nice resource. It is a nice way to get started once you're happy with your pulls and stuff like that, because you get more experience towards your characters. So you'll get rewards like Zenny, etc. for that. You'll get packs, you'll get cards, you'll get all sorts of things, and I think it's well worth the £5 that I spent to get it. And then because you earn jewels back by doing it, I'm pretty sure I have enough for the next season pass when it will come around as well. So I definitely think that that's worth doing. And the last thing I did want to mention is that you do actually earn 2 legendaries just by playing the game. And they're both red, and they are Fate-Defying Ryu and Dread King Rathalos. Now, I actually got Dread King Rathalos in my initial pull for the game, so I have 2 of it, which is unnecessary. So I shall actually dismantle that now, because I only need 1 of it. So I got rid of 1, and that's made my soul count go up, because you can only play 1 in a deck anyway. And then you have Fate-Defying Ryu, who is very strong, but Dread King Rathalos you get for getting to C tier within the rankings. So if you're aiming for Dread King Rathalos, just play the game until you can get him, because I wouldn't panic about crafting him, because if you craft him, then you're wasting resources. He's a really strong card. Both Fate-Defying Ryu and Dread King Rathalos are really strong, but you don't need to craft them or pull for them, because you'll earn them just by playing the game. So that's going to be it for me for this video. Thank you very much for checking it out. I actually really enjoy Teppen. I think it's been really fun with the amount I've played it. And I know this is a little bit of a left field video for me because my channel has been revolved around Final Fantasy based content where, you know, I've been playing either the TCG or the mobile games. And I'm as much a Capcom fan as I am a Square Enix fan. I love my Street Fighter. I actually have a Vega tattoo on my back. I love Street Fighter that much. But this is a really nice kind of midpoint for me. Like, it's both a TCG and a mobile game. So it's actually, I thought this was like a stars align moment for me personally. But let me know what you guys think of Teppen in the comments. And don't forget to check out all the social links in the description box below. I shall leave a link to Teppen's website in the description box as well if you want to learn more about the game that perhaps I haven't covered. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's certainly, if you're new to the channel, if you want more content from me for Teppen, then let me know in the comments below, because I kind of wanted to experiment with this particular game and see if it was something that people wanted. I can stream the game as well over onto my Twitch channel, so don't forget to check that out and follow that as well. And for now, I'm going to leave you with a very shoddy game that I played as a rank match that I somehow came out on top of, even though I misplayed like hell, against a Wesker by playing my Nergigante deck. So if you wanted an idea of how that deck works, then you can see how that goes. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon. See you later. Bye now. So we've got Nergigante versus Wesker. It's a good hand to start with. It's got Gyros in it. I like to try and play cards early just because I want to build up as many sort of as much resources as I can in terms of like life spent, so that I've got, although the lag isn't very helpful here. I'll take a, oh no, maybe not. There we go. No, I still took the hit. Doesn't matter, I got a massive amount of health from that. I need to be able to clear this before Sherry hits me. Yeah, they managed to hit me anyway. I haven't tried Wesker yet. I'd like to try Wesker a bit more. Only issue I have with this so far is my frame rate could be a little bit higher. Give that a shield. Oh damn, that Tyrant got big really quick. But it's fine because I'm Nergigante and I'll be able to spike it off the board. Oh, I might be able to just kill it instantly. Hold on. That'd be really good. Not quite. But it's enough. It's good enough. Need to get some of this health stuff off. I just need a zombie or something to play. Actually, the Gyros will help. I'll take a hit from the Gyros, but that's okay. I might as well sack. Oh no, too late. Didn't get there quick enough. Burning resources because I keep misplaying cards at the time in time. Okay, well that's okay because I can play the Wheel Gator and that will give me a defense against that zombie. They'll kill each other, so that's okay. I need to get some health back. What's he doing there? Oh right, he's sacrificing things, that's fine. Gain some life in response. Get a zombie out. Now I'm wondering if he's going to play some Tyrant or something massive here. I would assume so. Ah, see, I got you just in time. I knew you'd do it. That was a really good play. That was a really strong play. And it caused him to surrender. And that is why Nergigante is busted.